What's up? This is Naked Eli, your world record holder for Challenges in Reach, bringing you a blazing fast speedrun of Exodus on Lasso difficulty to help you get that weekly challenge, 15,000 credits, no problem. This is a new world record, beats the old one by about 5 minutes. So many new tips and tricks in here, really insane stuff actually, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to try and commentate over all of the details to help you with the more difficult parts of the mission, and I also want to introduce really briefly what Lasso difficulty is for those who are unaware or don't know what makes it different from just standard legendary difficulty. So legendary is obviously the hardest difficulty in Halo, but the skulls modify it to make it even more difficult than it already is. The Iron Skull means that when you die, you have to restart the mission if you're playing alone. So there's a way to circumvent that actually for the challenges, is you can save and quit right after you die, and then you can just resume the mission from your last checkpoint in the menu. So when it asks you, do you want to start a new game, you just say no, resume mission, and you can hop right back in from where you started. The reason I hopped over that little area right there really fast is because that causes the enemies to blow up. When you jump over fences or holes, for some reason, the grunts freak out and explode. So you saw me utilize that to blaze through that part in over a minute faster than I've seen anyone do in a speedrun on this difficulty level. Now you can smack these brutes in the back while they're still killing the little humans. And this guy you want to hit from the back right, otherwise it glitches you weird and you miss the shots. You want to nade these guys. You should have 2 plasmas from running through all those grunts and stuff, and then plasma pistol the last brute, nade him to death, grab another plasma, and then stick this last guy. Boom. Easy cheesy. I know it's easy peasy. I just like easy cheesy. Don't ask me why. Pick up this sniper. We got a health pack, so you get full health and shield again. And you really want to conserve these 6 sniper shots. So take your time, line up the headshot, and then take out these skirmishers to move on in, where we're going to have some really fun sniper practice with the rest of the brutes. Moving through the skulls more, we have the Black Eye Skull. Your shields do not recharge, you've noticed, except for when you melee enemies. Tough Luck means enemies evade projectiles and berserk more. Catch means that enemies throw grenades twice as often and twice as fast. Cloud turns off radar. Check this out, 2 for 1 on the brutes. You can set that up from this position. I love sniping from here. You have plenty of cover. Another 2 for 1 on these brutes. And then I wasted 1 shot because, you know what? I just got 2 for 1s. I have some room for error and picked off every single brute. Now, if you happen to miss a headshot or 2, you can pick up needler ammo around the map and then also stick them by moving up to that central structure area and try to stick them around a corner. I'm going to be really aggressive here to activate this button early. This is going to clear the dialogue so that these guys will talk, and then when you're down to 1 enemy in this area, it will activate the 2 phantom dropships to come down. I learned that going up on one of the staircases is the best way to fight this battle when there's a lot of enemies. You can also hide temporarily. They'll get distracted by all the little civilians running around. You see right there, the Jackal turn gave me room for the headshot. That grunt tried sticking some random chick who flew across the screen. And then I didn't even see this guy, but he's going to give me the melee for the full shields. Pick up Needler. In this crate right by the elevator, there's a half full Needler. Move around the map to pick up the Needlers from the other grunts. I think it's random how many they drop actually. So sometimes you get full ammo, other times you don't even get 3/4 ammo. It's luck of the draw. Exodus is a very random map. That's something that's very difficult to take into account when speedrunning, is all of the random elements, and I'll try to show you how to optimize those instead of just letting your speedrunning or just, going through the mission be taken back by some random crazy thing that kills you. So more skulls. Cloud turns off radar. Famine weapons drop half the ammo. Thunderstorm upgrades enemies. That's why you're seeing all these grunt ultras instead of just regular grunts. So you want to use the needler on the brutes because 6 needles will blow them up, and then this guy requires 2 sets or just 2 stickies. The reason I was peppering is that the first 2 shots actually home in incredibly well. Check this out. Right here, I go to stick that guy. The captain's like, no, I'm going to take the stick for you. But then the other guy freaks out when I kill his captain, and that just gives me an easy shot for the needles. Skirmishers like to run to the back, so you can always predict that. Now I've noticed I've counted the enemies that I've taken out, 1 of the captains, 1 of the brutes. That means that there are only 2 enemies left. When you kill and there's only 1 enemy left, the elevator opens up. So if I were you, I would take my time, kill that skirmisher, and get the health pack by grabbing a plasma pistol and hurting myself with the overcharge against a wall briefly to pick up the health pack for full shields. But I'm doing a speed run, so I didn't want to waste the seconds doing that, and I think I'm going to be fine. This guy, notice he has all this armor. Sometimes you can hit off the helmet, and they're usually pretty bald, I think, like all of them. And he's doing some moonwalk crazy thing there. Don't even know what's going on. Sprint up to this rocket. Give me the rockets and don't get fuel rotted, sir. Thank you. There's some DMR ammo there. That's why I backed up. And here is the jetpack part where these condescending ODSTs are like, are you ready to jump, Spartan? Try to catch up. So I'm just going to say screw you, and I'm going to take this crazy advanced route that I've never seen anyone take. I'm basically just going to jetpack across all of these things. An easier route would be going more to the right. You see that black bar that moves straight into the wall? Just walk across that. Don't do this. I'm just shaving off a few seconds for the speed run. Every single little jump here counts and adds to that jetpack. Otherwise, I would have already been dead, and you don't want to die at this point. You know, we're only 6 minutes in, already past the Banshee part with the jetpack. We're blazing through this mission. Right here's another example. You can just hug the wall. You don't have to jetpack across and do all this crazy stuff. But all of these things in this area are jetpackable, so I've just found that this is the safest and fastest route, but all the little things on the wall and that crate you can also jetpack onto if you want to do it that way. Right here, sometimes you do get shot at from these guys, but I usually survive by hugging the left wall and running up the stairs. Sometimes they don't even shoot at you like that, and that's what I mean. The speedrunning techniques on this are very random. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know, it's luck of the draw. But surprisingly, in all of my practices, I didn't die once there. Now here I grenade myself to pick up that health on the run, get some rocket and DMR ammo if your DMR wasn't already full from previously. And here there are a ton of ways to get up. My favorite is going up through the front. I'm going to use this flag right here, stop up on that, take the route all the way around so you don't get shot at by that phantom or those grunts as much. Another way is to go a little bit to the right, and you can go up around on a ledge and back smack the chieftain. But I've found that half the time he just turns around and you're dead and it screws up the run. So I decided to move in the front, rocket all these guys to pieces. This takes out, you know, and you want to maximize the rate at which you're killing things. Try to group them up, grenade and rocket them. But this area, I'm going to slow down a little bit. It's going to take me a couple minutes to get through. There's just so many grunts, jackals, 2 shade turrets, 4 brute miners, a brute captain, more enemies that are dropped off in the back with another phantom. So what I like to do here is try and pick off the grunts first. And as you're doing that, the brutes will try and come out to defend the grunts. And if you can get them to hide around the pillar like that, one direct rocket to a brute miner will completely kill him. Now I'm out of rockets. I didn't really see needlers on the ground, which would be good for these guys, but it's also a difficult angle. So I learned that if I just keep this door open and try to DMR their helmet off, then I can usually kill them pretty efficiently. So this is just all me doing it on the fly. I tested all these super aggressive routes, moving in, trying to use the first, second, and third floors to my advantage. This ultimately is a little bit more of a safer, cleaner route that you guys will be able to emulate. And if anyone finds a reliable, aggressive strategy, let me know. I mean, I was already beating the world record by so much at this point that I figured I could take an extra few seconds just to make sure I have, you know, full health, full shield. Right there, I don't even know where that fuel rod gun chieftain was. And then here, I, for some reason, didn't think that the ship would be here at this point. I thought he'd already dropped off the enemies. So I'm trying to avoid him. You can use that ledge to neutralize those guys very easily. And I probably should have just shot this idiot off. I'm like sitting here waiting for him. I'm going to move, and then I'm going to get shot at some more. So if I were to redo this, I definitely would have taken him out, or figured out a strategy that I can move to the back, let the phantom drop off all the enemies, and then clean them up. So that chieftain, I want to save him for last. I'm looking for these jackals and the captain. The captain charges you with his hammer. So here we go, baby. I got 2 stickies. I'm planning on using them. That's uno. And right here, plasma pistol is really good against them because of the tilt skull. The damage tables are modified, so resistances are increased. That's why like human weapons do almost nothing to their shields, but weaknesses are also increased. So that's why the plasma pistol and needler are so good. Mythic means that enemy health is doubled. And right here, this looks crazy. Like, this is actually one of the safest ways to take out the Brute Chieftain. When you fly above him, he always tries to stick you because of the catch skull. And then you can just take out whoever's left around the area. Sometimes you have hammer left, and I would take that to the next area. Otherwise, you can use the plasma pistol to help you get shield, or health rather, from one of these health packs, where I have one there, one on the opposite side that I already grabbed, and then one all the way down there. So 3 health packs in that area for you if you need them, which I make this look kind of easy. Sometimes things don't always go your way and you need more health packs, more ammo, so just scrounge around, look for it. Sometimes you want to use the fuel rod. That's a good way to take out the brutes. Sometimes you want to use the needler ammo that's on the ground, or take needler instead of rockets to this area. You know, it's all up to you. Make sure you don't kill civilians, by the way, too, because in this game, if you do that, then you get sent back to the last checkpoint, which with the Iron Skull on would send you back to the beginning of the mission. So that's no bueno. You're looking down, this is the area we were at earlier. That's where we jetpacked under. That's where all the Banshees, and we're flying around. We were jetpacking. We completely skipped that area, this entire thing, and landed on that bridge on the left. So this part, there are 2 brute miners here. Just try and shoot at them, you know, so that they don't spiker you that much. I wind up getting kind of destroyed by them. It's really unfortunate that on this difficulty you can't kill them quick enough, and like this captain right here, he will just bling you, and sometimes you die. Like, imagine getting to this point in the mission and getting completely obliterated by a random element like this. One time I was right here and got fuel rodded by a Banshee and just completely died. There was nothing I could do about it because the Banshees were on the opposite side. So I'm hoping in future Halo games they don't have extremely random elements that kill you like that. It's so frustrating getting to this point and then having a random thing completely out of your control killing you with these extremely fake trees too. I don't want to be looking at these ugly trees. Sometimes these Banshees just run right into them. Like, they're really dumb. Like, why aren't these Banshees shooting at you? Why are they just boosting around? It makes absolutely no sense. We saw this on other missions too. I mean, I understand if all the Banshees were actually trying to kill you, it'd be really difficult, but why have a bunch of Banshees then? Why not just have like an epic 1v1 Falcon versus Banshee fight? That's the most difficult part. Check that out. That guy's Banshee just falls into the water. He must have like run into the wall and been really weak. But I magically survived that with a sliver of health. Did not think I would make it. And again, another reason that this is a really random part that I hate. Sometimes you get shot at by a bunch of Banshees. Sometimes they fuel rod you and there's nothing you can do about it. Like right there, almost completely got destroyed by that one. But usually when you pass that first half of the Banshees, you're safe. So I'm feeling pretty good at this point. Those civilians just went down because the dude didn't listen and took off while they were telling him that there's a Corvette in the air. So that's kind of your problem, bro. Now, here is your question. Do you shoot the brutes, the grunts, or the jackals first? Here's what I like to do. I like to shoot the jackals because their shields are really difficult to penetrate once you're at this angle, but if you shoot them earlier, then you can usually kill them or make them extremely weak so that they throw up their shield more often and get taken out. Then I target the brute captain because he will be very difficult to take out on foot with just a DMR and a plasma pistol, and then the grunts for last. I got plenty of time. Pick up a health pack. We are so close to the end. Just about a minute left. I'm going to show you how to blaze through this part of the mission. So I prefer the Warthog instead of the Mongoose because it's honestly just as fast. It's aiming in the right direction. It's actually faster, I believe, for the route that I'm going to take. And you have much more protection. And you know, you always want to use protection. So right here, we're going to the first missile battery. Activate it, forget the enemies, they can barely hit you with their Covenant weapons from that range. Grab the camouflage and right here, take out that guy and dodge whatever Wraithfire gets shot at you, holy Jesus, and then move forward. I like to go up on this left side here. I've never been hit by the Wraith doing this. Maybe he hits you every once in a while, I don't know. And then park right about here. You don't want to run into those 2 jackals on the left. And coming up from this angle, you're usually pretty safe from the brutes. They can see you if you're right in their face with the camo, but otherwise they'll get spooked and you still have plenty of time to get. So now this part, really briefly, sometimes you go all the way around. That's probably safer. I'm going to go up the middle, splatter that grunt, the dropship sees me, starts shooting at me, I almost get clean up here, press the button, which is sometimes hard to do, and then jump off just in case that fuel rod guy was going to shoot at me. So 1440, incredibly fast speedrun. Check out these other world record speedruns if you're interested. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and share it with your friends, please, to help them get the weekly challenge. This is Naked Eli. Thanks for watching.